we're sitting in the airport right now. We're waiting on the rest of our group. We're flying out to Miami and we get in at like 6 a.m. and then we leave from Miami at like 10:30 in the morning and we go straight to the Dominican. It's our friends Rachel and Ryan's 10-year anniversary, wedding anniversary, that we're celebrating. So I think that's insane because I don't feel old enough to have any of my friends to have been doing anything for 10 years. Like, that's insane. That was past my bedtime. I'm ready to sleep. We have officially landed in the Dominican. Say hi! We're all here. We're waiting for our taxi. We're waiting for our taxi and 2 other people in our group, and then we're gonna go to the Airbnb. So excited. The Dominican Republic has been so amazing. I have loved every second of it here. We're leaving today. I can't believe we're leaving, but today is the last day and I still need to pack and oh my gosh. People are leaving early, we're leaving a little bit later, but we're all on the same flight. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but here we are. Of course, like anything, this was an amazing vacation. The house is crazy beautiful. It was perfect for our group. We had such a great time. I don't want to go home. I'm trying to convince my husband to stay here, and we're like, we'll just get our cats sent down to us. He's like, I have work on Monday. So it has been so magical. The Dominican has been such a great time. The people here are amazing. They're wonderful. They're so happy. They are just so relaxed. You've heard about island time, and that's so true. Island time is very real here. Overall, it's just been so fun getting to just reconnect with old friends and meet new friends, and it's just been so, so good. Yesterday didn't really go as planned, like half the day didn't, so that was a little hard, but we managed to make the best of it. We started the morning off we got breakfast. We do breakfast each morning. And we all kind of got dressed for the beach and we went down and it was so nice. The water, it wasn't clear and it was definitely a fair amount of seaweed, but it wasn't unbearable. And there were spots where it wasn't seaweed, it was just sand. It was so nice. I literally played in the water all day. Like, I don't think I left the water for more than 5 minutes. So I have sand in my hair. I have sand everywhere. There were like little hermit crabs. There was like a little ecosystem, and like it was kind of like a lower tide, so that it would look like the water didn't come up, and so it kind of like trapped in these like little like coral homes or whatever, like little fish, or like there were a ton of hermit crabs or like a gecko or something like that, or like little just aquatic animals, and they would just like swim around. And we saw some sea urchins. We saw beautiful scenery, beautiful landscape, beautiful ocean, beautiful. I got some seashells. We had to come back for lunch. And then I wasn't feeling great at all. I think I just had too much sun and I played too hard in the water. So I came upstairs, I took a nap. I wasn't really hungry. I napped for the afternoon and then our plan was to meet at 4:30, like be ready by 4:30 because we were gonna take a taxi to go to one of the ports and take like a sunset boat ride and then do snorkeling on the boat and had like open bar and stuff. So we were going to do that, but the tour never showed up. Like the tour driver never showed up. So we were like trying to contact people and just nobody was answering. Nobody could tell us what was going on. Nothing was happening. So we found out this morning that we got an email that said it was bad weather and they didn't want to bring us out on a boat. So that's fair. I'd rather be safe than sorry, but like nobody told us anything. So we were kind of clueless. So we called an audible and they don't do delivery here. So that was a little hard to figure out. But we ordered a whole bunch of like Caribbean, Mexican fusion, like tacos and nachos and everything. And the guys went down and picked it up and got more alcohol, and we all just stayed in, and it was fantastic. The restaurant was Charos. It was right by the beach that we went to earlier that day, and it was fantastic. Like the reviews I read made me really excited for the food. And then literally after the first bite, I was like, I understand why these reviews like are all correct. The food was so good. It was so good. So we got our alcohol, we had dinner all together. And then Friday, let's see, we went like waterfall climbing, jumping off of. So that was really cool. We spent the morning, I think they picked us up at like 9 a.m. and maybe like 9:30. We had to meet at like one of the resorts like down the road. So we checked down there and then got picked up about 9:30, and I think we probably got to like the location at like 10:30. And it was like a big like, I don't want to say water park, but they labeled it as a water park, but it was still very like incorporated in the like environment. It's not like Elages or like SeaWorld. It's not that kind of water park. It's literally like they have zip lining and they have jumping off waterfalls, and they had a couple other things, but like those are the two that I was like, so we did the waterfalls. It was a horrible, horrible hike. For somebody who lives in Colorado, I don't like hiking. I don't go hiking. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. It seems pointless to me. You just go up a mountain and then down a mountain. I don't like it. I know. I'm very much in the minority on that. It was great to be like in the jungle and like have a new environment. But again, it was still kind of like we went up and then we went down. So the thing that saved it, and this was probably my favorite thing, was that we literally got to jump off waterfalls. It was, I think the highest jump was 18 feet, and that is just, that is exhilarating. That is something that I think everybody should do at least once. I'm really glad, I jumped and everything, but they had like water slides that you would like go down, and it was all from like the natural rock. Like none of it was like man-made. Like they had ladders to get up and like stairs down, like really like kind of treacherous portions, but for the most part everything was just the natural landscape, and we just kind of had fun with it. So it was so much fun. The water was so refreshing. We were sweating our balls off. I kid you not. It was so hot. And it wasn't just that it was hot, it was such a high humidity that I was so, I mean, all of us, we were just dripping in sweat. It's like we had already gone swimming, and, but we weren't cool at all. So we got in that water and they're like, oh, it's going to be cold. And we're like, okay, like we're preparing for like Colorado cold water. It was the most beautiful water. It was so, so nice. It was so refreshing. We did that, and our taxi driver that like brought us there, he was really awesome. He was like right around our same age, so we all kind of like hit it off with him. And so he was like part of our, our games through like the car ride or whatever, and our conversations and everything. And then, we got talking about the Dominican and, have you tried this fruit? And have you, tried this food and all this stuff? And so we kept passing fruit stands on the side of the road, and we were coming up on one, and he was like, have you guys tried a limoncito? And we're like, no, and that's what we heard him say. So if that's the wrong name, sorry. But we are like, no, and he was like, oh, we have to try it. So he pulls off on the side and he rolls down the window and he's like, hey, can I get a bunch of them, like a bundle? Um, and they look like miniature limes, and they're green on the outside, and bite, you bite it. It's kind of like it's a softer shell. And you bite it, and then you take the outer layer off, so that green part you take and you just toss, and then the inside it has a pit, and then the fruit itself is around the pit, and it's very, I would compare it to lychee. It's very kind of that texture. And the tour guide said it could be sour, sweet, or taste like ass. He said this one was a little sour. So thankfully it didn't taste like ass. And they were actually like, it was a weird mouth feel at first. But like they were just really easy to eat. Like they were a really good snack. So we ate those on the car ride up there, and then on the way home, we of course were talking about food again. And he stopped and we picked up like a dozen mangoes and a dozen bananas, and it was like maybe 4 USD, like so cheap, so inexpensive. So yeah, everything, I think the conversion is $1 to 60 pesos. So like we went shopping at the grocery store. Some of us went shopping at the beginning of the trip to get food for the week and everything. And I think they came back and they said, because we have 12 people and, we need dinner and breakfast and all that. And they came back and they said they spent 35,000 pesos. And we're like, this 35,000 is a huge number. It was roughly 600 USD. So yeah, that's just the conversion. So we've been struggling doing that all week. Oh my gosh, that was Friday. And then Thursday, we went on a city tour. We went rum tasting and we went chocolate tasting and we went cigar making and we went jewelry trying on and we got lunch at a local restaurant and we loved our tour guide, Francisco. Of course, we kind of, went to like the tourist areas, the tourist trap stores and whatnot, but we went to Pink Street, which is more of in like an alleyway. And then we did Umbrella Street and there's people there with like monkeys, like take a picture with the monkey or whatever. And they're like, yeah, I'll take your picture. And you're like, yay. And then they're like, and then you're like, oh, and they're like, pay up. So we really had to prep our group because some haven't traveled before. We really had to prep our group into being like, say no. Unless you want what they're selling or they're offering, say no. Like be pretty firm on that. Like you kind of can't be wishy-washy because they will walk all over you and then you'll end up paying for something that you didn't necessarily like kind of want in the first place. It's been all types of bikinis and bathing suits and the pool has been magnificent. Weather-wise, it's definitely really sunny and beautiful. The clouds burn off in the morning time and then kind of afternoon, kind of lunch, it gets a little bit windier and then kind of towards dusk evening time frame, it definitely gets windier and it gets cloudy. And so it's still really nice. It's just windier and cloudier. So there's a big mountain this way, and we've seen the top of it maybe twice the entire time we've been here because it's just been covered with clouds. It just so, but no rain, nothing, no like bad weather, nothing like that. I think they were just being really cautious with like the boat tour last night where they're like, we don't want to bring these tourists out on a boat and something happened. So I think they're just really cautious about that. You know, you love to vacation in these gorgeous places, but also this is where people live and this is where animals live and this is where everybody, you know, exists. We saw a bunch of stray dogs and cats on the street, and it was so hard to see them because we're vacationing and, we're just here temporarily and they're here suffering, and this is their life. So, being an animal lover was really, really hard to see. I don't think that's anything you ever get used to when you travel, but yeah, it's hard, but it's I think just part of the travel experience. And a lot of people here, if you try to speak their language, like anywhere in the world, if you try to speak the local language, the interactions are going to go over a lot easier and smoother. You're going to get a little more courtesy from the residents than if you just like go in blazing with English and you're like, speak my language, even though I don't live here and you do. Like, it's called being considerate. It's called being a good traveler, being a good visitor. Dominican is, according to the U.S. State Department, on a level two travel advisory. So we definitely were a little wary coming here, but we stayed in a group and we never ran into anything. Like we never felt unsafe. Of course, at any point it was 10 to 12 gringos walking together. Like it was nobody really bothered us. Of course, vendors, but like it was never unsafe. Like we never felt unsafe. Like we all stayed together and we were very observant and like careful of like being in the city and everything. And like we had our belongings with us pretty close to us, but like it wasn't anything that was like, you had to be looking over your shoulder 24/7, nothing like that. So, yes, travel is scary at times, but a lot of times the media tends to overhype it and over exaggerate how scary it is. Of course, be smart. If something doesn't feel right, follow your gut. You don't need a reason, but if this feels wrong, leave. And you just trust yourself and you don't want to stick around to find out what happens because you might actually be right. And we would hate for that to happen to anyone. So yeah, okay. I've got to go pack, but it's been so good. I don't want to leave. If you guys have any ideas on how to keep me here longer, let me know like as soon as possible because I need to be by the ocean. Oh my gosh. The Dominican has my heart through and through. Oh my gosh. All right, bye guys.